I'll have the front pages of the papers for you with more on that after Charlotte with a rundown of what else is happening.
Police in the United States have shot dead a man who took 3 people hostage at the headquarters of the Discovery Channel. James Lee went into the TV station this morning.
Should point out no one was harmed in the making of that video film. Time for a look at the front pages.
So the 25-year-old special advisor left his job at the Foreign Office after William Hague said that internet rumours about their relationship were untrue and malicious. Well, the former Tory leader admitted that the pair had shared twin hotel rooms while campaigning for the election. But the Foreign Secretary said in a statement last night that there had never been an improper relationship between them. And he insisted he's never been involved in a relationship with any man. But Mr Hague also went further, dismissing reports that his marriage was in trouble and insisting that he and his wife Fionn are very happily married. And he revealed for the first time that he and his wife have suffered multiple miscarriages, including one just this summer. And that revelation has drawn criticism.
I want to go home.
Ooh, right. Talking what's in the newspapers with James Whale very shortly, and he'll have a thing or two to say, so you have been warned. Good to see you, James.
Morning.
Leading the news, Barack Obama has... OK, papers coming your way, including what James Whale thinks of the William Hague situation. After this from Charlotte, what have you got?
An update on the situation with the 3 Pakistan cricketers that are accused of spot-fixing games. They're going to be questioned by officials in London today. Test captain Salman Butt and bowlers Mohammad Asif and Mohammad Amir. And video footage has emerged of a car crash in the United States that gives the whole new meaning to the term drive-through. After falling asleep at the wheel, the driver of this car lost control, and that happened straight through the front of a shop. Well, luckily, the owner and his wife had locked up for the night just moments before, and miraculously, no one was injured. It's left the shop in a bit of a mess, though.
Yeah, it could have hit those petrol pumps on the way in, which would have been worse. But very nice of you to give us that footage of you driving, Charlotte. Very good. Very good. Right, OK, here's James Whale with what's in the newspapers. And look, front pages of so many of them when we were talking about it this morning. The Foreign Secretary, William Hague.
Now, all the serious pundits have had their say on this. Very sad story, and I do feel for William Hague and Mrs Hague, for Fionn. I don't have much sympathy for the 25-year-old advisor.
Why not? He's lost his job as a result of this.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't have been given a job in the first place, should he? Because William Hague, along with the rest of the Tories, is cutting back on waste, and he decided he needed 3 advisors instead of 2.
Maybe, well, that's why he was sharing a room with this man.
To save money, obviously. Yeah. That was the reason. That was the reason. Now, obviously, I think the biggest problem here, and I said it before, and I'll probably say it on LBC this afternoon, is this dress sense. You cannot, as a shadow minister, foreign secretary, shadow, and now foreign secretary, William, if you are watching today, I feel your pain, but you can't go out dressed like this. You can't. You cannot wear a white T-shirt, and as Eamon said last time, with long sleeves, a baseball cap and dark glasses does not go with being a statesman.
But he can wear that. That's his off-duty stuff, and many men his age, because he's a fit bloke, could not wear that.
Well, a lot of people say he and I look very similar, as Charlotte said before.
Especially with a baseball cap.
Exactly. But you can't. I don't think if you are a member of the government, you swan around like that. And he must have known they were being photographed. It just doesn't look right. It just doesn't look right.
These the gravitas. They pop up everywhere.
Well,
so
I know.
You don't know you're being
You've got to be careful about it, haven't you?
Booze bill. Now, you see, this is the obvious to me, always. Burglary, sex attacks, brawls, 15,000 deaths a year, all down to drink. Where's the surprise in all of this?
Well, there isn't. And you know they're trying to sort of increase the price of booze. That's what they're really trying to do. But people keep on going, whether it's their religious views or their whatever it is. This is appalling. This shouldn't happen. Now, I like a glass of wine, and I know Charlotte likes a glass or two. And people do drink without causing this trouble. But if you cause this sort of trouble, the law exists to deal with it. Why do we not use the law? They go on about this, you know, booze binge drinking culture of Britain, and the police stand around in their white vans of a weekend evening mopping this up. It never used to happen. Why aren't these people taken to court? Why aren't they slung in the cells overnight? Why aren't they fined heavily? Why aren't the places where they behave like this fined? You know, we have the laws. Why doesn't it happen?
OK.
Sorry, did I go off on one then?
No, I don't really know what the
pardon.
answer to all of that is. I mean, I think the people, you talk to the emergency services who have to deal with this, and you say, mop it up over the weekend. Could it be there's too much tax to be earned off the back of people
Well, I tell you what
drinking?
you do. People who drink, who get taken to A&E, should be paying. They
Yes.
should be charged to go there.
Yes, they should be breathalyzed
Yep.
and then argue about the bill later.
Exactly.
So if you're over the limit,
Exactly.
you pay.
Yeah,
I think one of
that's
the
a very good
reasons
idea.
is there are just too many, aren't there, for them to cope with. If there's thousands and thousands of people that this is happening to, they can't arrest them all, can
Then
they?
close down. If you have a town or a city centre where this happens regularly, and there are many, then you close all the establishments down. You say, we're not having this sort of behaviour, and they're closed down.
OK.
That's it.
We move on to the Dr. David Kelly situation. The Attorney General will study papers that could lead to an inquest.
This just won't go away, will it? And the reason it won't go away is because it wasn't looked into properly at the beginning. And now the Attorney General has called for these papers to study them. It's going to open another can of worms. It's going to add fuel to the fire of the conspiracy theorists. And
Until that inquest is held.
Exactly. And maybe it's too long to do it now. It's a very strange case. I mean, at the time, I spoke to a lot of people involved.
OK. Here we go. Who is saying the UK is a wasteland of sex-mad ladettes and gays?
Well, this is, you know, I like to keep religion into the programme as much as possible. Archbishop Nicholas, has said this. Britain has been condemned as a sex-mad ladette and gays, according to this churchman.
No, it's his aide.
It's his
Archbishop
aide.
Nichols' aide.
Archbishop Nichols' aide, Edmund Adamus. Is that right? Yeah, he said it. He's called Britain one of the most anti-Catholic landscapes, culturally speaking, more even than those places where Catholics suffer open persecution. My God, are you talking about Britain here? Britain, one of the most understanding and easygoing countries in the world.
Yes, but that's what he's saying. He's saying it doesn't stand for anything. There are no rules and regulations.
Well, that's ridiculous. Mind you, going back to the other story...
It's too liberal, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I know what he's saying. But I can say that, right? He can't.
Why can he not?
Because I said so. And that's how it works.
OK.
That's how it has to work in a benevolent dictatorship. The aide to Vincent Nichols, Archbishop of Westminster, has warned against sex outside marriage and false fruits of cohabitation. What are you looking so worried about? That's what's... You're married, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they are. That's what's damning this nation.
Well, I'll tell you, that leads us on to your next story, which is a sickening story, but obviously very typical, and maybe what Edmund Adamus is talking about, one of the things he's talking about, and the headline says it all. It says, Yobs urinate on a 75-year-old who called Jean because they were peeing outside her door. She opens the door to tell them to stop, and they turn not only their attention, but their hoses on her.
Right. This, you know, these sort of people need to... I don't need a bishop or a bishop's aide to tell us what is wrong. We know what is wrong, and it isn't whatever your sexuality, whether you're married or not. That is complete stupidity, in my view. What is wrong is a lack of discipline in this country.
Well, it's a lack of respect.
Or a lack of respect, yes. That these yobbos urinating in her stairwell, she comes in, she says to them, that's not... you know, you shouldn't do that, tells them off. Quite rightly, they then urinate over her. Now, quite frankly, these people need locking up for 10, 15, 20 years. I would lock them up longer, leave them to fester, and that might actually get through...
In their own urine.
If you like. I've no problem with that. It might get through to some of these lame-brained, stupid, rather useless members of society that it isn't going to be tolerated anymore.
Do you know what also amazes me as well? Why do men, in particular, feel the need to urinate in stairwells and phone boxes and all sorts of places that are not urinals and toilets?
Well, do you know, Eamon, I couldn't possibly answer that question because I wouldn't do it, would you?
I would not.
No.
I would not.
Perhaps somebody will text or Twitter.
OK. Thank you very much indeed. That was James Whale. Some of the stories in the papers today from him.